Yeah. Welcome to the table where the truth gets said. No filters, no edits, no words left unsaid. Different perspectives, but we all take a stand. Real talk live, this is no middleman. Yeah, soul setting tone, keeping structure and flow. Uncle Plug, bring game that the streets already know. Reign with the crown and a voice that expands. If it's honest conversation, no middleman. Live from the room where the real ones stand. Uncut, unscripted, no middleman.
Souls of Thought. Disclaimer. This live stream is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. Statements made are opinions, satire, or hypothetical discussion and should not be interpreted as factual claims. We are not journalists, attorneys, or professionals. We are reacting to publicly available information. No statements should be construed as accusations or assertions of wrongdoing. By viewing this content, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own interpretations. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm mistaken, bitch, you know my name. Hey, I swear them boys done took me out my element. No, I don't give a fuck, I'm celibate. Got me acting wild like my last name irrelevant. Playing around with me, we'll get your bitch ass heaven sent. Say she love me to death, bitch, go get that needle. She asked me what's next, bitch, it ain't no sequel. I swear, if you let them hoes tell it, man, them Johns think they legends. Bitch, you ordinary people. Cause I'm making big moves, bitch, I'm ass cable. That money goes straight to my head, my account cerebral. No, I rep that shit to death, like my logo lethal. Bitch, my money old, they shit barely legal. I got old demons stepping, them boys medieval. I swear one call will get you popped, like a weasel. Now you fly in the sky, like an eagle. Yeah, he fly in the sky, like an eagle. I'm my old bitches leeches, and them hoes mosquitoes. My new bitch regal, got me feeling like I need her. Want me to leave it in her favorite position, fetal. Her neck froze, she must be a real black beetle. Hey, bitch, I'm climbing up that ladder. If she bad, I need one better. Ass fat, I need it better. Since I'm running up the mills, they try to serve me on a platter. But I stay with that hammer like I'm Jim Adler, little bitch. Hey, I'm on a motherfucking mission. Yeah, I gotta go get it. Gotta go run up them digits. Hey, respect is taken, not given. That's why I'm in this bitch wildin'. And I'm coming back with vengeance, little bitch. Hey, everybody but American Express gave me limits. Hey, them boys thought I was finished. Them boys doubted my sentence. Them boys thought I would miss it. Now I'm explaining my vision. Hey, they gave me limits. I broke through that ceiling. Hey, now I'm living, surrounded by bad bitches. Back to the money, working out my spot. And I got that Tesla in the parking lot. This bitch wanna go out to eat. I say, look, ho, here's food for thought. All a nigga really see is his fucking dreams. Bitch, I want the world like I'm Disney. Everywhere I got my niggas with me. Everywhere I got my family with me. Hey, I'm on a motherfucking mission. Hey, I don't want my niggas living. I want my family living. Hey, I swear the world don't see the vision. It is what it is. Hey, I saw the results. I still woke up and chased. I'm hungry for this. I'm hungry for this. I want the world and everything in it. I just tell my girl I love her, say she love me, but she mad at me, so she spell it L-U-V. Living lavishly, walk around in double C. Got no salary, everything I kill I eat. They all doubted me, till they see me on the screen. They all proud of me, same people that ain't believe. Burning calories, running shit up with my team. Say your majesty, know I'm living like a king. About 25 a day, that's just my daily schedule. Ain't about who doing better, cause we gon' win together. I hit another level, I had to buy the pressure. Was showing up for free, now I charge them extra. Getting money daily, your part you should've played it. You could've been with greatness, but you started hating. 20 on my rings, 20 on my bracelets. I got fresh sheets, and got a Hermes blanket. She tied her hair up, that made me feel amazing. Her rent she couldn't pay it, I said I'll make arrangements. I'm in that CA racing, they say you living dangerous. Told my mom to name it, and I'ma go attain it. I told you to reject it, it's gonna be respected. So since you got that money, you been acting reckless. Like, do you know how fucking long I waited for these blessings? I told you niggas that rejected, it's gonna be respect. So my girl, I love her, say she loving me, but she mad at me, so she spell it L-U-V. Living lavishly, walk around in double C. got no salary. Everything I kill, I eat. They all doubted me till they see me on the screen. They all proud of me. Same people that ain't believe. Burning calories, running shit up with my team. Say your majesty, know I'm living like a king.
Yeah. So that back. Brought back so
Yeah,
many.
that's the original song. That's the
Yeah.
original no middleman, man. Shout out to Osakin, man. Shout out
Yeah.
to, for y'all who don't know who Osakin is, that is Deion Sanders Jr., better known as Bucky, man. Shout out to Bucky for the music tonight. Started off with a little we started off with a little of his new stuff, you know what I mean? And then we went over back to the old school love, LUV. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in so far. We already have people in the building. Let's go. We got 30 to 40 some people watching right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Uncle Plug is in the building, man. We got a great show for y'all tonight, man. So Rain, I'm gonna let you take the reins, man, like we normally do. Let me get this off the screen. It's all you, man.
Yeah, so welcome to the No Middleman panel where there's no filter, no edits, and definitely no middleman. I'm your girl, Soft Rain. And tonight we're going to be bringing you raw conversation, real perspectives, and the kind of dialogue that most people are too afraid to have out loud. So y'all know I'm not here alone. We got the founder, the visionary of RSC Souls of Thought. And of course, we got the energy, the voice, and the wild card. You know, he holds no filter. Uncle Plug, he's in the building.
What's that,
And
fam?
we are
What's good?
3/5 of your Raw Society Coalition. We make up the coalition with the classic codes and the Teds down. And they're probably going to be in the chat as well. So y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow us, and all that. Shout out to everybody that's already in the chat. As Souls said, when y'all come in, y'all go ahead and hit that like button and share it and tag somebody, of course. And welcome on in. What you got for us tonight, Soul?
Yes, yes. So welcome. Make sure don't, as you see at the bottom of the screen, pull up. We got a live show, Singles and Soulmates, June the 6th in Columbus, Georgia. Tickets are already on sale on Eventbrite. Make sure you pull up. Although I Plug got this little smirk on his face today, but pull up to June. Oh, June. He ready tonight for June the 6th. We got Singles and Soulmates, man, 90s edition. Make sure you get your best 90s on. We will be in the, I would say we're going to be in the A. You know what I mean? Everybody only know Georgia about the A, but we are going to be with the neighbor city, you know what I mean, Columbus. So we'll be in Columbus June 6th at the, it's the Hideaway, right?
The Hideaway Lounge. It's over on Blackman Road in Columbus. And we have a select number of tickets on sale right now too. Once those tickets go off or those tickets are sold, then it's going to regular price. So get them now. Yeah.
So tonight, man, we're gonna be in our content bag for show. We're gonna have a lot of content tonight. Not a lot of separate videos, but just a lot of content to take in tonight. As y'all see, we're gonna be talking about the culture, but we're gonna take a different view, a different lane to get there. We're gonna be filling you guys in on the Jason Whitlock, Cam Newton, Ryan Clark. Everybody's involved, but we're gonna kind of stick to the main characters, which are Stephen A. Smith, Ryan Clark, Jason Whitlock, and Cam Newton. And we got some topics we're going to bring up that kind of talks about the culture, but also not just the culture, but how we look at things in life and how everybody can see things in a different light, which is okay. We can agree to disagree, but we're going to have that conversation tonight. So we're going to be talking about the culture. But before we do that, y'all know we got the greatest prime time entertainment on deck tonight. We got On the Radar with Rain, so we got to get that Radar with Rain line up first. So here we go.
You're locked into On the Radar with Rain, hot topics, bold takes, and no filter on the forecast. Let's see what's making noise this week.
So tonight on the Radar with Rain, I have two stories for y'all. Both of them are going to raise the same question: how did it get this far? One of them involves a 14-year-old behind the wheel driving under the influence with a 1-year-old in the car. And the other, I'm going to give a case update involving a man many once saw as inspirational, now facing serious charges with new details coming out about his arrest. So, and it is coming from somebody who knew him closely. So let's get into it. We're going to start in Virginia. And this one is layered. According to authorities, this crash happened around 2 a.m. on Interstate 64. So it was 2 o'clock in the morning. a 14-year-old was driving with a baby in the car.
Damn.
Right. So that right there alone is gonna raise some questions, right? So police say the teen was driving a silver sedan at highway speed when she ran off the right side of the road. She hit a guardrail, overcorrected, and crossed back into the lanes and struck a barrier on the opposite side. Now, that's not a minor accident at all. That's a high speed loss of control. And inside the car was her 1-year-old son, Makai. And he was not properly restrained, and she was not wearing a seatbelt either. And where it becomes more concerning is police say that she was driving under the influence and without a license. So you got underage, unlicensed, impaired, driving at 2 o'clock in the morning with a child in the car. So unfortunately, though, that Makai, um, even when he was injured at first, but he didn't pass away immediately. He fought for a few days, but he did pass away on March the 26th. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right, so we got a little bit more here. Appreciate Rain, but we're gonna see what the news had to say about this too, which is crazy, man.
In Hampton, a 14-year-old girl is charged with DUI after a serious crash on the interstate. State police say a baby that was in the car with her is hurt. This all happened yesterday morning around 2 o'clock on Interstate 64 eastbound in Hampton. Authorities say the young driver was not wearing a seatbelt and the baby was not properly fastened. In addition to DUI, state police charged the girl with driving without a license and a child restraint violation.
So there you go, the news, man. That was the accident right there. We know now from the radar with Rain, the baby did not make it. This happened in Hampton, Virginia. So this was in the VA. The good old DMV. Man, how do we get to these type of points?
I don't know.
She must have been baby. I can give a scenario that came to my head.
Yeah, go ahead.
She was babysitting and was probably smoking a little weed and got the munchies.
No, that was her child.
What? 14?
And he was almost 2.
She was 12.
Could be the culture.
Man, we should have killed it. Oh my God. What a
Now the grandmother spoke out, and she expressed heartbreak. She said she can't bring herself to have any hate towards a mother. So
this ain't the first time. This something she did on a normal basis, bro. This ain't the first time. When things like with the grandmother not being able to be upset, who knows, man? Prayers to the family, first of all, real talk. But this might be one of those situations where this 14-year-old girl was taking care of everybody in their home.
Damn.
We got to start having the uncomfortable conversations, guys, about culture, man. Y'all know what they used to call us, latchkey babies?
Yeah.
Hey, it was kids. You got to think about it. It was some of us cooking at 6 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
Like some of us was already,
I was cooking at 11, 12.
Yeah, you was already letting yourself in the house, making sure your sisters and them didn't answer the door for nobody, looking out the window. All we doing now is throwing a little keys with the car now. That's all it is.
When I'm not here.
Yeah, it ain't no difference. Like, it really ain't. I know it sounds wild, but they just got cars and cell phones now. That's all.
Yeah.
That's wild shit.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That
These
blows
ain't
me
no
right now.
babies.
That blows me, bro.
Baby in the car, man.
Yeah.
Man, radar hit us. Radar hit us quick today, man. That was a hailstorm.
God
That one was holding. Well, that topic didn't hold no punches, but I think this person did.
So I wanted to give y'all an update on the amputee that got arrested.
Oh, you just caught me slipping like a mother. You cold-blooded.
I'm trying not to laugh, y'all. I'm trying not to laugh.
You said, look, man, no hands.
Okay. All All right, y'all. Let's
Hold on, Ray. Hold on. All right, hold on. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. So we know he was a cornhole champion, right? And so according to reports, when he was taken into custody, he had to be handled differently, because he was a quadruple amputee, right? So he was not.
He was handled differently.
So listen,
Let me get the hell out of here.
so he was not placed in traditional handcuffs, of course. So authorities had to adapt their process. Officers took identification impressions of his arms.
My bad, Ray. My bad, Ray. I had to do it. My bad. My bad. Go ahead, Ray.
Oh, we needed that.
That's where my headline came from. He said, "Look, ma, no hands."
Look, Ma, no hands.
Well, you did that just right. You had to lighten that mood, boy. Ooh, you had to lighten that mood, boy.
Look, Ma, no hands.
That shit was hilarious.
Go ahead,
Oh, shit, boy. I needed that after that damn crash, boy. I'm telling you, boy, that hit right there. You did that just right, but goddamn.
So,
Ooh, shit.
officers, had to take impressions from his arms, and so they had to use alternative procedures during booking.
Penny,
So that's something.
little Penny said, "Excuse me, Mom. Excuse my hands." My bad, Ray. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. I promise we're gonna get through it.
Oh,
So,
my head hurts.
of course, this is not something you typically see. It adds a unique layer to how, this case is being handled. But I wanted to talk about his current status, while he's in jail. So according to jail,
how did they handcuff him?
Oh man.
oh, wow.
Jesus. Oh shit.
So according to jail officials, he's being held in an infirmary or special management unit. That means he's in a single cell. He's under constant monitoring, and he's being
His
checked
status is untouchable.
Wait.
So, boy, this shit ain't funny, boy. I swear to God, boy. Status untouchable.
Wow.
Flag on play, illegal use of no hands.
How did they handcuff him?
They didn't. They didn't. They didn't.
He was thrown at the X with the nub.
They did some shoulders.
He said, "Going to hell for sure." Shout out, Ty. What's good, Ty? My bad, Ray. My bad, Ray. My bad.
Oh.
So,
boy, I needed that one, boy. TGIM. Yeah.
Reportedly, he has refused to use his prosthetics while in custody, which impacts his mobility, his daily routine, and how the facility manages him. He still has access to limited recreation, a tablet for communication and legal use, and but overall, his confinement is being handled differently than a standard inmate. And I did want to.
He got nothing to stand on, man.
No, wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God, man. You know what his favorite movie is?
Stand By Me.
Footloose.
Y'all boy stupid, man. No, that shit's so crazy, bro. Oh God, boy. This shit is so funny.
So, I did wanna talk about this too. This adds another layer, a personal layer to it. His ex-girlfriend, who dated him for several years, has spoken out publicly. She says she witnessed a dark and angry side with emotional outbursts and ongoing anger issues. She also claims that he refused to seek help or therapy, and one statement in particular stood out. He said he said that, she is not surprised by the allegations. So
Hey, Ray, it sounds like he took a hands-off approach.
Ain't like you choked the bitch. Did you at least pace the bitch? Boy, look at him. Boy, hey, thank you for lightening the mood, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy.
Tell that man to get his prosthetics, dog. Do right in prison, dog.
Yeah, bro.
Do
You
right
can't
in
throw no
prison,
ass. You can't throw no ass.
Man, golly. He's the true hey, he's the true meaning of head count in jail.
Throw them bowls.
silly.
How you see with no hands or legs?
So that concludes On the Radar with Rain.
My bad, Ray. Our bad, Ray.
Same reality. Decisions matter, patterns matter, and consequences don't wait. So
never stand on business. Thank you, On the Radar, Ray.
You're locked into On the Radar with Rain, hot topics, bold takes, and no filter on the forecast. Let's see what's making noise this week.
Oh man, Rain got us with that one, y'all. She got us with that one. Keep them updates coming, Rain. We need them, dog. We need them, man. Hey, I wonder, does he take footnotes?
My soul, bye. I ain't getting on the bus. You got the bus waiting by the curb. Just leave me at the curb. I'm not gonna get on the bus.
He said, y'all don't got anything. Hey man, it's Monday, baby. It's Monday. Welcome in, man. N2D said the replay going to be lit. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We needed that though, man. But again, man, real talk, man. All prayers to that young family, dog. Real talk, dog. Like we needed that laugh, but man, they going through some devastation, dog.
A little 2-year-old gone, man.
Yeah, that's a 2-year-old gone, a 14 life who might be a little jeopardized. You know what I mean? Man, I just pray for the family, man. I pray for the family, man. We got niggas in jail, don't want to put their prosthetics on. Man, this world is going into a hell in a handbasket.
I'm not getting on the bus though. I'm not.
You ain't getting on there?
No, just leave me on the curb.
Okay, all right. Hey, we got it. We own it. Me and Plug got you, and the whole chat got you. Don't even worry about it.
For sure.
He said, I guess we won't be playing handball.
Yeah.
He said that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. Shout out to y'all in the chat already active, man. Everybody active. Short bus. Man. So, man, today, man, again, as y'all seen by the thumbnail, man, we're going to be talking about the culture today. And there's something going down in the culture already, man. We got our icebreaker tonight. Charleston White, Young Thug.
I didn't watch this for a reason because you told me, and I was like, I ain't gonna even watch it. I want to be the first time watching.
Yeah, he didn't say we're gonna show 2 videos. This is a short one. You don't see any action, but the second one, Charleston White is gonna give you like his spiel on it. So yeah, so we're gonna play the first one, and then we're gonna ease on into the rest of it, man. So here we go with Charleston White and Young Thug get into it. Here we go.
Is it some volume?
Crazy one. Oh, that's funny.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Probably just bag out real quick.
Yeah, I got you. Here we go. We got oh man, we got money in the building early. Hold on, let me get this up here. Yeah, thank you, Chanel. Chanel is in the building. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Let me get this Charleston White up. There we go. We're gonna get that Charleston White up, and then we got Money in the building. We got everybody. He said to let someone with no limbs shoot you is crazy word. He said we going from no legs to money. Yes, yeah. So what we got for you tonight? What we got for you tonight? What we got for you? Welcome in, Chanel. Always support and appreciate you. Let's see here. Let's go with
See that front door? Everything's fabric. You see that front door? You see that front door? That's where all the love go. Huh? You see that door? That's where all the love go. Huh? Hey, Legend, let's play that shit back. See that door?
You see that front door? That's where all the love go. It ain't no ins and outs, really won't be no coming home. I gave my heart away a long time ago. I gave my heart away a long time ago. You see that front door? That's where all the love go. I'd rather be alone if we can't make this house a home. I gave my heart away a long time ago. I gave my heart away a long time ago. Kicking women out that front door, screen swinging like I'm selling dough. This paper bought me a centerfold. I can buy another one, I can let them go. Bitch, don't try me, play the victim with all that whining. This contract ain't binding, everything shining and damn. Made mental notes about the bullshit and the lies, didn't vocalize it. Most men suffer in silence. Never let you see me break a sweat, take pain with me right to the death. I'm feeling fine, no feelings left. Only thing I like about the arguments, they always be the sex. Toxic love ain't love at all, you playing games, won't be involved. Kick a bitch out like a ball. I'm so used to taking losses.
shout out to Chanel for the super chat, man. Putting that money in the bank. Money in the bank. Shawty, what you, man, it's gonna be a music day. Got you in the music vote. No hands. She said that still pick is crazy. Shout out to you, Chanel, as always. Little Penny said crazy thing is they showing dude with no hands shooting as a blogger. Shout out to N2Deep. He said, welcome in everyone. As you come in, please click on that like button. It's free. Support the channel. Appreciate you, N2Deep, as always. She got the music. She plugged in. She got the drain drops. And it looks like she's fencing over there. That's what that looks like, fencing. War room. I got it. I like that. I like that little emoji. So we're gonna let Charleston White hear this thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys give your opinion on this topic.
Of my life. Because you said Jeffrey Williams on probation, aka King Slime, aka Young Thug. You said we step on shit. Your other brother, your goon with the gang chain, the YSL spider chain, pretending to clutch a gun as he was assuming to be brandishing and holding the gun, said don't lose your life. I am now in fear of my life. Swear to God I am. I'm going to contact my attorney. First thing Monday morning, we will be going to the courts to file a restraining order against you for my protection. Not only that, I will be contacting the federal authorities because you made a threat while possessing a gun on federal property, a private airport. I'm pressing charges on you, Jeffrey. I know you're on probation. You finna go to jail. I swear to God, you will. I'm doing everything because you got me afraid for my life. You are a gang leader. I don't even know why you was at the Drewski Could Have Been Love reunion. You wasn't on one episode, ugly motherfucker. I don't even know what you were there for, nigga. Bothered me. And you waited till I was by myself. You waited till I was by myself and approached me with a gang of guys, thinking that you was going to intimidate me and cause me to be in fear. And guess what? You did. Sure did. And I am in fear. God said I would lose my life clutching the gun. I seen it and I saw it. And I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. You going to jail, bitch ass nigga. And I'm contacting your probation officer. I'm sending her the video to show that you was there and you was with gang members. I got the pictures and the photos of every guy you was with. Swear to God I do. You have no business to bother me, nigga. But you got the right one, Jeffrey. Yeah. Jeffrey King slime finna slime your ass right into Fannie Willie's hands, bitch ass nigga. She already done tried to get you revoked. Guess what I'm finna do? Get you a revocation hearing. I swear to God, I'm finna get you a revocation hearing. And I listen, I'm gonna tell exactly what happened. Detailed description. And you waited. You niggas thought y'all gonna catch me by myself and I was gonna cowboy. I think I grabbed my nuts on you niggas and told you niggas do it, nigga. And I was by myself. Bitch ass nigga, you with a group of niggas, ho. And you niggas had every opportunity to upside my motherfucking head. Get what you didn't do? Nothing but make threats. And guess what it is? Against the law.
Hey, so I think it's the best. I think it's the best way to start the night off, man. Y'all see the title tonight, For the Culture.
Jeffrey.
For the culture.
I hear you loud and clear, Lil Penny. But what I'm gonna honestly say, everybody leave Charleston White alone. He is your friend until you make him an enemy. Dumb motherfucker. Y'all, man, you know what, man? That one thing what I learned, dog, when I was going through my trials and tribulations. Boy, tread lightly when your ass on papers. See, that let me know that none of y'all little green bastards done been in trouble before. Because you don't know how to conduct yourself once you get free. Green bastard. See all this green in the back right here? See all this green? So you green motherfuckers out there thinking y'all thugging. Yeah, it's easy to ride by. Yep. Yeah. Like he said, you had all opportunity to throw them hands. And you could have excused yourself. Your whole crew could have did what they did. You could excuse yourself. Leave Charleston White alone.
This is very interesting, man. I hear what everybody's saying. I hear what Lil Penny saying. Kira says she despised. People despise Charleston White because he exposes the culture. And that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about culture in so many different vases and so many different ways. And people despise him. And it's funny that certain people don't like him when he literally sits down on interviews and tell y'all he's playing a role. We in the DFW, just not to give our docs ourselves, but we in the DFW, dog. Charleston White has created whole laws for juveniles not to be tried as adults. This man has changed the things that we sit here and talk about we want black people to do when they get in power. Charleston White did it. And he did it when nobody knew who he was. This is the same. It's weird to me that like we don't like someone who tried it Norris way. I'm saying my name Norris way, Soul's way, however you want to say it. Because I get called Uncle Tom. I get called that I'm not the black no more. I get called everything. But y'all don't like this place. Oh, it's okay. So, every day I lose my blackness. Some days I'm black enough. Some days I'm not. I get it. But Charleston White has just came on the black train. And now he literally exposes the culture. Young Thug is just going to be another example of someone who's trying to be hip for the culture, who's trying to stand out and not understand his decisions will have consequences. And you met the right one. You met the right one today.
Let's be honest, bro. Is he a dumbass or not? I know you had plenty of time while you were sitting in counter and you had your phone and you were scrolling. Bitch, you done seen plenty of Charleston White interviews to know to leave Charleston White alone, man. Oh, who the hell you think you is, bro? You green as hell for that, bro. I don't care what nobody got to say. You green as hell, bro. Leave that man alone, man.
What was the beef between them? Like what was Young Thug's beef with Charleston?
I don't know. They didn't show the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure Young Thug beef is probably what most of the people in the comments are talking about, right? A lot of people don't agree with him. but I look at it like it's hard to not agree if you really know what he's doing and who he is. You see what I mean? Like he literally is someone who moves the needle. Like he moves the needle. Like when you listen to his stories and the people he knows, he moves the needle. He moved the needle in the state of Texas. He went to DC, talked to some of the most wealthiest and powerful people there who gave him the way of the land or how to get money, how to not be broke no more. You know what I mean? So I think we're like,
hey, I
go
deal
ahead.
with somebody who deal with him directly, and he said, "Man, I can't even lie to you, dog. Man, I fall out and fall in, fall out." And he said, "Charleston, depending on what the weather is, you gonna fall in or fall out with him." That's exactly what he told me to my face. And then picked up the phone and said, "Man, I'm telling you," it showed me the thread and he talked to the man. And I'm like, that's crazy. He said, "Bro, you gotta pick and choose your poisons. But if you in trouble, leave that man alone." That man said, "Man, leave that man alone. You better off just saying, 'Man, what's up, man?' and just be through with it. Because whatever it is, if you threaten him or go against him, he gonna take you up through there. And everybody should know that."
Shout out to Class. Class said, I completely disagree. He isn't exposing the culture. He exposes the chess pieces that are being used for propaganda. Most black folks are decent people. Never said black folks weren't decent. But we also got to be we have to live in reality that regardless how we look at it, those chess pieces do dictate the perception of black culture and black people. That's what we have to, like, I'm not debating what you're saying, but we do have to accept the reality that people are looking at Young Thug as the culture, as the black people. You see what I mean? Because there's not enough
representation.
Yeah, there's not a million people following Souls. There's not a million people following Uncle Plug every day. There's not a million people following Classic every day. There's not millions of people following decent black people every day. So regardless of how we may look at it, he might be talking about he might expose certain puzzle pieces, but we have to accept that those puzzle pieces are a perception and what people feel of the majority. And looks like same thing with the Houston rodeo, right? We joke about it and stuff, but when you keep seeing videos of 5,000 black women half naked and they have to create a dress code, or people make up lies about the cruises, right? And saying that they ban certain music because black people on cruises, and regardless if it's true or not, the propaganda is bigger than us. It's bigger than us. Like the propaganda is bigger than us. So it's like, so that's just my opinion about it. But I mean, everybody's entitled to their thoughts and opinions for sure. Chanel said, "I kind of like him though. Love to hear his thoughts." Yeah. The dude speaks. When you got to ask Charleston White the right questions. When you watch other interviews, you got to watch him on small interviews. Don't watch him on these big people like Say Cheese, and go watch the underground ones he does. A lot of them here in Texas. He does a lot of interviews with people and they talk about business. They talk about, he just dropped a whole episode about how to get big on YouTube. Like exactly what to go look at in your YouTube studio, how to build content, how to find your niche in people, how to change. Like he talked about as black people, how we should change certain thumbnails. And he talks about things that make sense. But if you don't ask him those questions, he's always gonna fall back on the character, because a lot of people are using him for the views and the clicks. So shout out to the twin Hall. He said nothing wrong with Charleston White, but there is something wrong with Nick Cannon spewing incorrect information. All right, shout out to you, big dog. Classic covered that on his last show. If you tap in with Classic at Classic Codes, man, he definitely talked about Nick Cannon riding on that crust of pizza, allegedly. Classic. He said nobody said you wasn't black. You said y'all black people like you ain't a part of y'all. You exclude your own blackness. Yes, sir. You're right. You're right, Mr. Classic. Hey, Chanel. Kiera said no, Charleston White is the culture. He's a minstrel show. You can still do all the works and still be a terrible person. Okay. Thug is a menace to society. Take your black butt to jail, dog. He said he got all that violence in his spirit and ain't aimed a pistol at an oppressor. He said black culture is decent people. Little Penny said facts. How does character like Charleston help society see black people as decent? He's not trying to do that no more. That's what I'm saying. When you watch him and listen to, he gave up on that rat race. He gave up on people wanting to have real conversations because he just becomes back and forth disagreements, and nobody wants to see anything for what it is. He said, no, non-black people look at thug like the culture, and we as the black people give less than a fudge about the opinions of people who don't represent the actual culture. He said, you must first care about the opinion of non-blacks. I do not. He said, I'm black and I know the true culture, but they're a Mexican who has our people elfed up. It isn't my job to help him understand.
Fuck him.
He said, but the big interviews is what shapes the culture. Not yeah, Lil Penny. We agree. We agree. I agree with you on that, but I think those big interviews are only big because we don't support the little ones.
What's the Mexican he talking about?
I don't know, but we don't support the little ones. And then when people get the opportunity to shout out the little ones, they don't shout out the little ones. Nobody shout outs the little ones. I'm talking about by name.
Can somebody get Lifetime out the chat? One of the snipers.
333, what's going on?
Who is like where you at?
Lifetime 3123.
Oh, okay. I got you. Don't worry about it. We got you. No problem. It's okay. We're gonna give him a life. We're gonna give him a life sentence. Don't worry about it. That's me pointing my comments at the oppressor there. Here we go. Chanel. So like Orlando Brown, he spoke about when he brings that certain character out in interviews based on the space he's in. Yeah. What's up, Rampage 18B? He said, what's cracking, people? What's good, my guy? What's good?
Rampage.
I'm hoping you got what's good, my guy or man. Let me know which one you are. I know sometimes we say sir all the time, and I know one time it was a female. So shout out to you, Rampage. TWR. He said, depends. Y'all's black culture ain't mine. We're Gullah here. What's Gullah? What's Gullah? Y'all know what that slang?
Gullah is there. Isn't that over like the Carolinas? Gullah culture. It's
Oh, okay. He said, I don't see black folks through any more of a negative lenses than anybody else. I think people in general aren't that smart. I deal in the 15%. Shout out to Classic. Penny, but you can't be covered in the same mud and preach about being clean. You have some validity there. What's good? Too tight. I gotta call you out, big dog. It's for the culture. You didn't show up for rain. What's good? What's good though? 333 just chimed in. What's good, fam? TWR from Plug. Yes.
Yeah, the Gullahs they're members of African American people living on the coast of South Carolina and nearby islands. The Creole language of the Gullah have an English base with elements from various West African languages.
You're glitching a lot, Rain. We can hear you, but you're freezing. Shout out to Rampage. He just said what you said though. He said, I'm a guy. Shout out to Rampage. He said from South Carolina culture.
Yeah.
Shout out there. He said if he's not trying to help black people in a positive way, what is the point of what he's doing? I think you have to. Yeah, it's a longer conversation. Like it's one of those things that, again, if you're only watching the clickable Charleston White content, that's all you're gonna see from him. Like if that's all you're seeing, like literally, me and Plug was talking about it. I think it was on Sunday. Oh no, was it Saturday night? Like Saturday night. It's just little. I'm talking about this dude. If you go YouTube him, he's on a YouTube channel every day. Like somebody interviewed him, and when you get him on the smaller ones, you get to see him really talk about the culture and what he does and how he tries to work with certain people to fix certain things. I tell anybody, if I got on here, Kira, nobody won't believe me. If I got on here, and this is no offense to my family, if I got on here and act like the family that I grew up with in Shreveport, Louisiana, I'll be viral already. Plug will tell you, my cousins already be talking about knocking niggas out, and it be family members. Like I grew up in the same environments. I grew up in the same thing. So like I just think we are more attracted to what attracts us. If that's how I'll put it. What you got to say on that, Plug?
I was thinking the same thing, but I just can't for the life of me understand why this man know he on papers, man. He know he on papers. Why play with Charleston White, man? Everybody see Boosie real. Like she said in that comment, Boosie know to stay away from Charleston White. Folks they clap at him and then I'm finna leave that man alone, man. Now what if you really get flipped for real? What if you get flipped for real, bro? Then and guess what? All this was in vain, man. You weren't even out a year. Duck. You a duck, man. You a duck for that. He quacking.
Classic said you were fine, man.
Oh,
on our StreamYard, you were. Did you see the same thing, Plug?
She was freezing.
Yeah,
she was on the plan on her
audio. But if they can see you fine, that's what matters. He said black folks are the only ones who get judged as culture by the worst. Cure is in her black business own. Souls is here, black business owner. Plug is here, self-employed. That's culture. Yeah, but at the same time, Classic, nobody wants to listen to what Souls have to say. It's always a diss right here. It's a back and forth debate. We will debate more as a culture than we will ever get on the same page or to move to agree to disagree. Not saying me and you, but I'm just saying as a culture in general, the positive people have to deal with so much debating that our voices never get heard. We're stuck debating. Like we can't move off of the agree to disagree. We stuck in debating. Like we play semantics on what people saying or how you say y'all or this and that. We stay stuck in the semantics and we never get to move the culture forward. He said Charleston White talks like every Texas man I ever met, but he's a fool trying to psyop the culture. All right, Ross, man, we appreciate you, big dog. We're gonna time you out though, okay? All right. Let's see here. Hip hop culture never changed so much. How did he get back? Somebody time. Oh, he on the vertical too. Just got to delete you, big dog. But the debating has become our culture. The black man and woman are at odds. No, I gotta disagree, little Penny. I got to watch a black woman who had a very educated conversation today. I have to disagree.
Great combo.
I don't think black men and black women are at odds.
That was a great. She's yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
great combo today, bro.
Yeah, I don't think black women and black men are at odds at all. I just think that we have to respect the good black women and got to respect the good black men. They're still in the spaces of debating and never moving either. That's all it is. He said before Haiti went to war, they killed the Haitians who weren't with the program, and then they fought the war. Black folks refused to separate the worst of us from the rest of us. I definitely agree with that, Classic. I had that argument when I was in D.C., big dog, after George Floyd passed away. All the black people got mad at me, but I told them we'll never have change until we exclude ourselves from everybody. Like, if you want to start a black league, whoa, definitely, man. What's going on? Satan was in the building? No, what's going on, man? And they coming up on both sides of the thing. That was Satan in the building.
No.
Let's see. Kira said, as people should be fighting against what society thinks.
People should we be fighting against society? What society thinks of us?
Go ahead, you can read it, book.
I live in a suburb in New Jersey, and it's 95% black. Whoa, these people are affluent and living great, and what he shows isn't the standard. I believe it too.
Yeah, but Kira, he's not trying to show the standard anymore. That's what I'm saying. When he showed the standard, he was a broke black man who couldn't feed his kids because nobody that looked like him would support him. That's why I say, like, his story makes sense. Like, I guarantee you, Charleston White sleeps very good at night when he's not making content to make money. I guarantee he's getting all those phone calls from all the nice black people and white people. Yeah, definitely dope discussion. What's up, mama? Mama in the building. She said, amen, amen.
Mama.
Shoot, mama told me the other day, no, I ain't gonna expose what she said. Not saying all, just saying how it shows in public. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lil Penny, you're a guy before I keep saying yes, sir. Hoodlums with guns and contraband are the vast minority of black people. Some people believe the propaganda. We as species that's aggressive and assertive. Long story short, Bridget, I'd love to have you up here, man. I think you would really enjoy having the conversation. I can tell by your what you say. You'll enjoy having the overarching conversation about the culture. Classic said no, he was trying to reach out to the least of us. He was trying to save the low vibration ninjas, not saving low vibrational people of any color. Them people must save themselves.
Mm.
We'll cover that on Wednesday. That almost sounds like a contradiction to a certain point, though, Classic. Shouldn't we be trying to, regardless how low you vibrate, shouldn't we try to save them all, though? Because those people that are low vibrational is still, that's who you start to, that's who starts to represent the culture. That's who they're showing on news walking down the street in Miami this year for spring break. Even though it was an open carry law, they were showing these niggas carrying AK-47s and stuff. And having their pistols in front of their pants and like they were carrying it in a certain manner. I would love to have that conversation, though. He said, nope. Cool. All right. Charleston started with trash target market. Cool, man. We appreciate all the comments, man. We're going to get into the first topic. The first topic of the night is going to be titled, Is this loyalty or not? So we're going to talk about a little bit of Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark. We're going to run this first, and then we're going to give y'all the conversation from Jason Whitlock, Cam Newton. But this one right here will actually set the tone for the night of what's been going on. So this is going to be Stephen A. Smith and him talking about Ryan Clark coming to his rescue to a certain extent. Here you go.
Levels. It compelled me to respond because of some of the things that Mr. Whitlock was saying to him. But Cam was a different matter because it was on his platform, 4th and 1, if I remember correctly. And that forced a couple of my colleagues, or compelled a couple of my colleagues at ESPN to speak up. I did not ask them to, but it doesn't minimize my appreciation for them. They did take too kindly to what Cam Newton, in their words, allowed to transpire. Some were more forceful than others. Some were more open than others. Got a lot of calls, a lot of people reaching out to me about that, wondering how I felt about it. I will get into how I feel in just a minute. But the first order of business I wanted to do was showcase Ryan Clark, because Ryan Clark, my colleague at ESPN, NFL analyst extraordinaire, and I mean that sincerely. He's the real deal. He didn't take too kindly to Cam Newton using the platform that he has, making it available to somebody like Whitlock to talk the way that he was talking about me. And Ryan Clark put up this tweet at that particular moment in time, or the immediate aftermath. He said, quote, "If someone shows you love, has you on their show twice a week at least, you don't bring his known enemy on your show and allow your guests to talk bleep about that person. That's not G at all. Loyalty is at a minimum these days."
So I want to start here first, because Mr. Plug, can you read that tweet for us, sir?
If someone shows you love, has you on their show twice a week, at least you don't bring his known enemy on your show and allow your guest to talk shit about person. That's not G at all. Loyalty's at a minimum these days. Ryan Clark, you out of line, pimping. You don't tell another grown man what to do on his own platform. Because you should have never made that comment, because initially Cam brought him on the show to speak to him about what he said about him. So, you wrong for that. Then you came back later on, apologized, understood. But at the same time, you don't tell another man what to do on this platform, bro. Cam's doing fine without ESPN, but Ryan is a habitual line stepper. Ryan throws the rock, bust your window, hide his hand, come back, ring your doorbell, and say, "I'm sorry."
You got anything, Ring?
You can't tell me what to do on my platform. It's my platform.
We say?
He can't tell me what to do on my platform. It's my platform.
Okay. I like it.
End quote. Once Cam Newton pushed back and challenged on that level, RC decided to say this on the pivot. Listen to what he had to say.
I never want to be tied into no buffoonery, ever. I don't believe all content is good content. I don't believe all publicity is good publicity. I don't think we have to be gossipy. I don't think we have to be messy. I don't think we have to always be chaotic. I don't always think that we have to create some level of drama. I don't want to be that person. If that's what I got to be for you to like me, I'd rather not be liked. That's me, right? That's what I want to do. The other thing I want to do, and you've been my friend long enough now. You know I don't play about my people. We've had conversations with people or been on shows with people, and they go to start. That's my friend. Right. That's somebody I'm close to. Now you get to say whatever you want, right? But we are going to know that there could be a personal issue, because I'm not going to let you talk about that person like that because of what they mean to me. That's how I am. That's how I'm always going to be. And that's with Marcus, Mina, Laura, Dan, Stephen A. That's with y'all too. That's period, because that's how I want to move. I want y'all to know that I'm not going to be talking behind y'all back, laughing at y'all, then coming to y'all face and smile. I'm not doing it. Right. And so that's the way that I want to move. And the other piece of it is this. I don't want to platform evil. I don't want to platform hate. I don't want to platform dissension just because. Right. I don't want to be connected to that.
So that was Ryan's Clark take. Before we get into the meat and potatoes tonight of the actual conversation that took place between Jason Whitlock and Cam Newton. What is y'all thoughts on this? What is y'all thoughts on it? Go ahead, Plug.
That is him, and I said protecting the bag. Now I say you got to protect the bag, but it was totally unnecessary. Because Stephen A. has his own platform. Outside of ESPN, Stephen A. got his own platform. He has his own platform. And what he said to Jason Whitlock, he defended himself quite admirably. If you ask me, he went and got on Jason Whitlock ass on his platform. So
yeah, on Straight Shooter.
Yeah, he got on straight shooter and got back on Jason Whitlock ass. So it was unnecessary. He should have just stayed clear of that. He should have stayed up out of that.
So this is the question I have though. Should we only judge people by isolated incidents, or should we judge them by the overarching characteristics of who they are? Because that's what I'm starting to see a lot when it comes to these content spaces. I think we're starting to judge people on isolated incidents, but not really being aware of the overall character of the person. Because everything Ryan Clark said, it could have been direct, but how many times have Ryan Clark said some of the most ignorant things on this platform made those two guys look stupid, made 1 million people blast you before you apologized each time. I don't know. I think this is probably why y'all think loyalty don't exist. Because y'all are used to people, y'all don't recognize the writing on the wall. Because if Ryan Clark would do that to anybody, he'll do it to you. The same things he said about RG3, he worked with RG3 before.
Yeah.
The same thing he said about this black man just because he did this. This, like, what makes this person, like, that's what I'm trying to see. Like, maybe I'm missing something. Like, is it isolated incidents we should hold people accountable for, or should we just be okay with? I'm just trying to get clarification for how everybody moves in America today.
Well, I say this all the time. I say, you can do some fuck shit. Everybody's entitled to do some fuck shit every now and then. But when you have a collection of fuck shit, you become a fuck nigga. And that's just, and once you become that, ain't no turning back. Ain't no turning back for you. It depends on how people collect your fuckery to put you in the FN category. So he has a collection of the fuck shit. But then he try to spin it back after he gets some direction, because he does it. Then I can see that he sits down and has some counsel after he didn't went off the meat, right? And then somebody come and say, "Hey, bruh, don't do that shit. Just go ahead and throw apology out there. They go forgive you and then bring that shit back." But he continuously does that. He's a habitual line stepper. He's a habitual line stepper.
So if that's his character and who he is, then why don't he just lean into his words that he says? And stop apologizing after the fact. He said what he said, and it is what it is. And that's once you say what you say, that's how you initially feel. So why go back? And what Classic did a code word on renege. So why go back? Why go back on what you said? Why do you have to constantly always apologize for things that you've said? Because when we first say something out of our mouth, initially, that's how we feel. That's how we feel. The first words that come out of our mouth, our initial thoughts, is really how we feel. So why does he have to constantly always go back and apologize after somebody has called him out on how he feels? Just be a stand-up. This is how I feel, and it is what it is. This is my opinion. Instead of having to constantly apologize for how you feeling.
Let me give a round of applause to Chanel. Chanel said, if they act the same over time, that is their character.
Yeah.
Kira said the issues with content creators is that they just be talking. Most of the time they forget what they say or don't even think about what they say before they say it. It's an art to public speaking.
Yeah, I agree.
He said, Classic said, Ryan Clark addresses things head on. I like that. I don't know what he did to Jason or Cam, but I like how he's handling business.
Okay. Okay.
So I think Classic, you can answer it for me. It sounds like you take things for isolated incidents, isolated situations. I won't say incident. It sounds like you speak on isolated situations. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Penny said platforms trumps truth. Oh, that's big facts. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Cure facts. Yep, Cook Rain. I take angry words more serious than calm words. Tell me how you really feel.
He being himself. He telling you initially how he feels, and then when somebody calls him out on it, oh, let me go retract that, or let me go apologize for that.
But that's not good. That's not good. But that's not good character.
It's not.
That's not good character.
You're supposed to be able to stand on your words.
Okay, that makes sense, class. Thank you for answering. He said, I don't know the situation that led. I'm not even talking about the whole situation, big dog. I'm talking more just about the whole incident in general. Like Ryan Clark has over a 5-year since COVID. Ryan Clark has a whole Bible of let me say this and come back and apologize. Like a whole Bible. Like he must be forgiveness in the Bible. He said, I just like people who address things, address issues directly. He said, if we're going to play the blame game, let's play, but all the slick or passive aggressive ish ain't it. He said, soft rain 10 toes down.
Just stand on you. Stand on what you believe in. If you're going to say it, and say it. Yeah, I said it.
But Spud King said, remember when Trump was trolling and worked behind Fryer? God totally oversalted, got 3 kids. What is this? I don't even know why I read that.
This is the dude that he shot out of here. He coming back with the fucking potatoes again, man.
He said, what's the problem? Like it's
the fucking problem.
It's not really a problem, classic. It's more about someone's preaching about loyalty that has not showed loyalty. Like that's what like that, like he is not a definition of loyalty, because everything he just said about Cam, what to me, loyalty would be you not tweeting about Cam Newton and calling him and having a conversation.
Yeah.
Because you said you like people to be direct, but he wasn't direct. He was tweeting something to a man that he can call. He said plug kind of silent though.
Because I'm lost. I'm lost. Like, man, he did some fuck shit.
I don't think people look at it that way, plug.
That wasn't his fight to even be fucking fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because like if we looking at it in reality, the man has a platform, that man has a platform, they all have a relationship. Stephen A can call this man. They can go and hash that shit out. You ain't gotta even come to the front of the congregation. You ain't gotta defend this man. Your job is safe. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it from a whole nother point of view. Like, dog, you ain't had no business even being involved. We shouldn't be mentioning you in this conversation. It should have been Jason Whitlock, Stephen A, and Cam Newton. That's it. That's it. Them 3 cats right there. And he did what he did on the platform with Jason Whitlock, and Stephen A probably hit him like, what's going on? Oh man, shit. You know, then they hashed that out. Then he said what he said on his platform to get back. I know Jason Whitlock can't go harder in the paint than Stephen A can. When it comes to talking some shit, I don't think he can talk more shit than Stephen A. So it was no need for Ryan to even be involved in this shit at all, to even be in a position to even have to apologize. That's what I was like.
I see what Class said. The public problem wasn't his problem though. That's what Plug was saying too. Like, Ryan addressed something that had nothing to do with Ryan.
He didn't have to address that
like
shit at all.
He didn't have to address it at all, because Cam asked, we're gonna watch it. So Cam asked all the question.
Class don't know what's going on at all.
Okay, well, we making a lot of comments without knowing. Okay, we'll play the clips. We'll play the clips. He said accountability is marketable these days. Ask yay. He said ask any celeb. He said, wait, so
what happened was Cam Newton brought Jason Whitlock onto his show. Jason Whitlock had some shit to say about Stephen A, about him being a fraud and a liar, about his basketball career at Winston-Salem, this, that, and the third. Because Cam asked him a question. I'll be remiss if I didn't ask you, because he initially brought him on to say he had a problem with Cam Newton. So he brought him on to say, hey, what's the problem with me? He told him what was wrong with him, and then he asked him, so what's the problem with Stephen A? He told him what the problem was, and then Stephen A had plenty of time to get back and say what he needed to say, but in between that time, Ryan Clark sends out a tweet about what we just read, which he didn't have to do that shit at all. And I'm pretty sure somebody told me, you ain't had no business even in that shit anyway. So that's why he came back and apologized.
And
because
go ahead, my bad.
Because Stephen A said on his platform again and said that, you know, hey, we're fine. So he said we're fine because he must have seen that his response back to Jason Whitlock did better than what Jason said about him. So he gonna have to see this man again. So guess what? Let me go ahead and apologize and get that shit out the way.
Yeah. And classic, I think it's different from reaction videos though, because we don't know these people. I think, let's say, for example, if I knew Jason Whitlock, I wouldn't do reactions videos on Jason Whitlock. That's just my personality. Like if I know you, I wouldn't, especially something that's going to put you in a negative light. I wouldn't do that if it puts you in a negative light. Now, we want to play fun and make jokes, or kind of like how I use your content class with Lotto. I just thought it was funny the way you talked about her, like your reactions and stuff. But nothing you said was different. It was just the way you reacted to her being a wife talk type thing. But I think for this incident, for this isolated incident here, I don't think Ryan Clark needed to react for anything, because the conversation, like Cam had the conversation that he wanted to have. Like it was done. Once they had the conversation that they wanted to have, the only person that really needed to responded, as Plug said, which was Stephen A. Smith. He said, so y'all have reacted to me and Tez, and we totally disagreed on your take. It's the content game. I won't say the B word. I got you, big dog. I see it. One day I'll be able to compare myself to Ryan Clark and them. He said, I got it. Ryan was done nothing. He made a reaction tweet. Lil Penny said, but Whitlock and Smith are rivals, though, competing for the same space. Clark back in the paycheck for the network. They all on same check, same team. So they're not having a real conversation off the internet.
I'm pretty sure Cam and Stephen A had a conversation. Stephen A seems like the type that's gonna hit your phone. If you do something, he gonna hit your phone.
Yeah. What's up, Ted? Shout out Ted. Ted's in the chat. He said Ryan has been on the rise. Whitlock mad because ESPN fired him. One way to look at it, for sure. Kiera, but they have the nerve to say women is the problem, but you have grown men bickering on the internet about, you know what? Never mind. Them brothers are making too much money for all this.
Hey, I don't. What show was Whitlock on? I don't remember him on ESPN.
He was on initially on your not Pardon the Rush. He was on Speak for Yourself. He used to wear all these suits, and that's back in the day when he was a strip club guy.
Speak for Yourself. When it came on,
Speak for Yourself. It was a primetime show. Speak for Yourself. It did numbers. That's where Marcellus Wiley started. It was a big show. Speak for Yourself was out there before, like that was on the. They were actually big. Remember when they dropped Stephen A. for that time, like a year or two. They really blew up.
Before the barbershop, I was more Sports Center, highlights, and Get Lost.
The girls, the ladies, they said I was thinking that Cure because this is a little
a little what?
They say like it's like a little feminine.
Oh.
But I think it's unique that women feel that way about the men, but then the men don't really have a strong stance on the guy who's not being loyal, who's doing like you see, like it's a very unique.
Yeah.
It's a very unique thought process. But yeah. So we're gonna ease in to the content about Cam and Jason Whitlock. We won't even get to the part about Stephen A. Smith because we're speaking about the culture. Thank you, In Too Deep. I knew he was on Speak for Yourself, big dog. Thank you, big dog.
He be coming with the facts. Thank you, Into Deep.
But yeah, I got to meet Jason Whitlock personally. I will tell you, he is not struggling financially.
Hey,
I go to the Fearless Men Conference pretty much every year in Nashville, Tennessee.
To the chat, who's all in who may be wondering, South Carolina beating the shit out of TCU right now. Let's go, South Carolina.
Man, y'all gotta love a black man that's watching sports doing his content. Man, we love plugs, man. This is a great. This is so great. This is so great, man. So we're gonna move on to our last topic of the night, which is gonna be divided into two different sections. The first one is identity divide. We actually gonna have an infographic for y'all to speak on this for the rest of the night. Once we play this. So this is going to be the beginning of Cam Newton and Jason Whitlock's conversation. And they're going to have some very candid conversations, so y'all bear with them. They're going to talk about a lot when it comes to why Jason Whitlock felt the way he did about Cam Newton and vice versa. But don't miss the positive stuff that was actually there.
Oh, Cameron, it's been a long. Oh, my goodness. Listen, I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to start here. And I want to ask, and go direct to the source with you, Jace. Why do so many people hate you?
I don't think they hate me. I think they hate what I stand for. I think many people don't know me. And so when I hear people that don't know me and they have these hyper emotional takes on me, it's because they don't really know me and they've just bought whatever the social media hype is on me.
Now, before we get too far into this particular banter amongst specific individuals, I want to clear the air and let you know I've always had respect. It wasn't threats. It was merely wanting this to happen, right? I think for as long as I could remember, I've been a person that's been misunderstood, a person that has been a person that, you know, beats to his own drum. But just like a lot of isms, people don't ask the question, but why? And you're kind of similar. A person hears what you have to say about this said topic or this said subject, this particular athlete, this particular politician, this particular actor. And it's just like, okay, well, there's truth there, but there's a strong take there as well, too. So to make this happen, I appreciate you for coming on the platform of 4th and 1 and just being able to talk it out. And in this world, I don't have no intent to hurt, harm, or diminish. It's just to get on the same page or ask the same questions. Like, but why though? You know what I'm saying? Like when you say the misconceptions or people don't really want to hear, has there ever been a time from a said source that it has gotten to you where you may feel like that person took it too far?
That person took it too far as it relates to saying something about me? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the answer I'm going to give you may be insufficient or it may go in a different direction. But yeah, I've had, you know, long pieces written about me that have completely mischaracterized me, my work, everything about me. I've had, you know, there used to be a powerful website called Deadspin that got in the habit of writing long pieces about me intended to slander me, diminish me, and they did it with lies. And so, yeah, I think that there was a time when Deadspin went way too far with me and had a systematic, calculated, paid for an attack on me. And so, yeah, that would be one instance where I would think people have gone too far. But as it relates to, you know, the podcast or the social media space where, you know, people, the Uncle Tom or House Negro or any of that's all water off my back because I know exactly who I am. And, you know, those types of insults and slurs are said by people without much substance.
So, Jason, you know, I really want to just get to the point, too. You know, you said things, Cam have said things, and I really want, when we talk about misconceptions, what is your conceptions of Cam and some of the statements that you made in the media about how he portrays himself and goes about things in the media? But what's your thoughts? So what do you think that you know of about Cam and vice versa?
What I think about Cam is that, let's long-winded answer here, just to warn you, but take Cam in his college career at Auburn. At that time, when Cam was at Auburn and having that remarkable season, carried that team to a national championship, if you go do the research, I was Cam's biggest defender. There was a guy named Thayer Evans at Fox Sports at the time that was constantly attacking Cam Newton, I felt, in an unfair way. And I was at Fox Sports at that time. And in the writing space, I had the power, the leverage, and I went to war with Thayer Evans, got crossways with my bosses because I kept telling them, like, hey, man, what is this guy doing? Cam Newton is out here balling out of control. I don't care that Cam and maybe his father sought some sort of payment from Auburn or whatever school he's playing for. That's all irrelevant. They've created a corrupt system. And if Cam and his father are trying to manipulate that system to their financial gain, I don't care. And so went from huge Cam defender at Auburn, risked my relationship with superiors because I was like, hey, this isn't right. And then Cam early in his career in the NFL, John Elway is my favorite player of all time. Any player that reminds me of John Elway, I hop on the bandwagon immediately. That goes from Cam Newton to Colin Kaepernick. Early in his career, I'm a huge Cam Newton supporter in the NFL. He reminds me of John Elway. I think this guy has a chance to go on to be, because I consider John Elway the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. I'm like, Cam could surpass him. Cam then, in my view, made a pivot to where he wanted to be a bit more of a cultural icon. And I thought it was a mistake. I think that when you're a franchise quarterback, there's a clean-cut way that the organization wants you to present yourself. I think that young men, particularly young black men, have spent way too much time worrying about their hairstyle, their fashion statements, any of that. I think it's all a mistake. I think it's all a waste of energy. I think that it's an indication they've taken their eye off the ball as it relates to their career, and now they're worried about other things. And so I started becoming critical of Cam. I'm like, hey, man, all this dressing up with the hairstyle, with the bonnet, with all this, like, man, you got to lead a football locker room. I don't think you can do it presenting yourself in that way. And so I became critical of Cam because I thought he's doing things to mess up what I think could be an all-time great NFL career. I look at Cam now in the media space. I see immense talent. I see a team around him that's putting him in position to shine. If he tones it down more and allows people to focus on what's actually coming out of his mouth rather than how he presents himself, I think he could have even more impact in the media space. But I've been very, celebratory of a lot of Cam's content and a lot of what you guys do around him and how you present Cam. But I just think, for the most part, I think Cam's doing too much. And if he does a little less, he will actually do more. Less is actually more. And I just see a lot of young black men that we're way too concerned with fashion because we come from a matriarchal culture. Anytime this many women are leading this many households and we got this worship of women deal, our culture is too feminized. And I would prefer for Cam to stand in opposition to that. I think all black men need to stand in opposition to that. And so, overall, I would say I see Cam as this great potential talent as a media force, but I see Cam doing things that are undermining his ability to impact the media the way that he could.
So that was the initial conversation from Jason Whitlock to Cam Newton. And that's the first start of the identity divide. So he said a lot there. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. I see the chat are definitely giving their opinions. I would love to hear what y'all got to say first, and then we'll let Cam rebuttal why he does what he does, and he talks about the culture there.
No. Go ahead, Ray. Oh, you muted.
Go ahead, because you're ready.
When
you set up, I knew you was ready, so go ahead.
So when you come to the square, you backpedal a little bit and then say like, oh, but I did this before I got to that point. But then I like what he actually said, like too concerned with fashion, this, that, the third. Well, you know, if you was doing your research on Cam, you would know why he does dress the way he dressed.
They're gonna get into it. They're gonna get into it, Plug. They
Yeah,
yeah.
That shit was kind of like, So if you've been following him since Auburn, my dude, which I've been following him since Florida. You know what I'm saying? When he first got to Florida Gator, you know, I'm a Florida boy, so you know, I followed him since Florida. I remember when he stupid ass boy. I remember calling him stupid ass boy for stealing that laptop. You know what I'm saying? When he muscled that boy shit and that boy told on your ass. But anyway, I was following him since Florida and then slid. And I ain't know where he had went. I ain't know if he went to JUCO. I won't follow him no more anyway. Then he came back to Auburn. So up until this point, so you've been following him that long, you should know that that's how he dressed, because he said he from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And now you kind of backpedal before you go into it and say, now you talking about a matriarch type of, you know what I'm saying, household. When this man got a fucking father, Playboy.
He wasn't talking about matriarchal household. He said the culture is pushing matriarch.
Oh, the culture itself.
Yeah.
So that was so he took from the personal and went general. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that.
But I don't understand. What I didn't understand about it was why you trying to make him out to something that he's not. Like, don't tell me who I am. Let me show you who I am. Because, you know, if Cam decided to go ahead and start, you know, growing his freeform locks and dress in a certain way and whatnot, if that's what he wanted to do, that's his personality, let him do it. That had nothing to do with his performance on the field. He took Auburn to a national championship. So
when he started to grow that hair, I was happy. Cause I said, this the demise. Because he was in my division. Hey, I was standing there when he got
somebody get Brian out of chat. What a sniper's at. Classic, can you get Brian out of chat?
Those two, what?
Yeah.
Bro, take your man. What my sniper?
He was on the vertical though, Classic. I don't know who else on the vertical. They got a wrench.
Somebody got him.
Okay.
Oh boy, you ass is time out. Boy, your ass.
When did he start going? So he played for the Gators.
Yeah, he played for the Gators before Tebow came in. Well,
And then he went.
Then he went to JUCO, and then he went to Auburn.
Okay, I didn't know his. Classic, they don't look well. And that's my opinion on it too. I wish he would do something with it. But that's how he presents himself. That's what he wants. That's the way he wants to dress.
I'm from Florida. I ain't never agreed with that shit, boy. And I think that's
where
it started for me. And I ain't never agreed with that.
Yeah, I don't. Freeforms are. To me, it screams unkept. But it is what it is.
What you got going on, Killer?
I'm just listening to y'all. I'm just listening to y'all. I'm just listening to y'all.
What was
I know we won't be able to have the overarching conversation, so I'm letting you guys talk. I'm just here to let the chat talk, let y'all talk. We won't be able to have the overarching conversation.
Huh?
What was Cam's career? I don't know his the ins and outs of his career as far as whenever he was with Carolina. What was his career ending? What was his choice, or what happened in his career and him not continue to play football?
Oh, Cam?
Yeah.
Cam had a shoulder injury. And that shoulder injury kind of hindered his career. And then I don't know. Then when they got rid of him after Carolina, I was like, he was in my division. You know what I'm saying? So he in my division. So I was kind of like,
Do y'all feel that Cam couldn't be Cam when he was in the NFL? When did he start forming his
No, the
hair?
reason why he's not in the NFL because he is Cam. Cam is a very strong, charismatic personality.
I get that.
And that's not a guy that you would want to be behind the guy who is starting. You know what I mean? Like I think it was at some point after that first season, which going to New England was a bad decision. But after that, he's like to be a perennial backup like a Jameis Winston, even though Jameis Winston is a big personality as well, he's just not as Cam Newton. Like Jameis is that type of guy that that's behind that guy. It'll seem as if Cam is lurking because Cam want to be on that field. You know what I'm saying? So
Chanel, his name is Peggy.
Peggy just got married last weekend. Shout out to Peggy, man. Happy marriage, man. Have a good one, man.
Chanel, he married.
Yeah, he just got married. He just got married last weekend, and Cam Newton almost missed the wedding.
That's sad.
Yeah. So, okay. Y'all got anything else before?
I would like to know your opinion, Souls.
Oh no, I don't. I'm working on my self-esteem and my projection. So I want to make sure that you guys are able to. Y'all know I'm like Whitlock, man. I have low self-esteem and projection.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, man. I told Kara and them to make sure they pray for me, man, and keep me in their prayers, man. I'm a work in progress. man.
You need us to pray for you right now, bro?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, PK Plug.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us here on this magical Monday. Everybody in the chat, God bless their homes and their hearts, dear Heavenly Father, and keep all us covered at all times, dear Heavenly Father. And everything we ask for you for what you've done and doing and will do in the future. We thank you, dear Heavenly Father. And these things we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
What's the word they say? What did they say? What they say when they receive? I received that, brother. I received that. Amen from class. Amen.
What go long? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So overall, what is your thoughts on what Whitlock said to Cam and Cam? His receiving of Whitlock's thoughts.
I think there's always some truth, even in the midst of the things that we don't like to hear. That's the best way to like sum it up. I think there's truth in the things that we don't like to hear. So like it's easy to give pushback on the things that we don't think a person is saying is popular. I gotta shut down, Kara. I got to, man. I got to. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't sleep at night, Kira, with these. I can't sleep at night. No, I'm just messing with you. The biggest thing is just I think if you take away what you might feel about Whitlock, you can see the truth in some of the things that he said. I think it's like I think people didn't even hear the positive things he said about Cam Newton, regardless how you think about Whitlock at all, regardless if you want to feel that it's true or not. I think it's one of those things that it should be okay to be able to listen to a person and take in some of the things that they say when it's true. Because even when Plug said about, no, Cam wasn't dressed like this at Auburn in Florida. No. Cam had a low haircut. Cam was a clean. I think Cam is what we see a lot of. He grew up in a good home. He has a great father in Cecil Sr. He grew up with a dad who's a pastor. Sometimes as we grow up, we struggle with the things that we feel are right or wrong. And when we're under that, that covering, We do as the people who are covering us tells us to do. I think Cam, we're going to hear his side of the story, but I think Cam also grew up being taught how he should resemble himself outside in public. And I think Cecil was a big factor in that. You know what I mean? Like, because not to be like, I think the clean cut that we seen throughout Florida, then he had to go to JUCO, he had to rebuild himself again. And then the clean cut Cam we seen at Auburn after they became a winning program, and the clean cut Cam that you seen at Carolina for some years. I think that was him probably battling with, hey, I want to do this for my people, but I also feel like I don't know. You know, when you grow up in a certain household, man, it changes the way you look at things. You know what I mean? You know, like I always tell people, I'm always transparent about my divorce, right? Like that was like one of the biggest failures in my life because I grew up in a perfect home. I had what I would like to call a perfect father, you know what I mean, and a perfect mother. You know what I mean? I seen love exist in a household and two people not argue, no, you know what I mean? Like, so I felt like I had no reason to not be successful, but I was unsuccessful.
I think that I'm gonna tell you, I think a lot. He said something about a mentor that he had in the interview about something happened to his mentor, whatever the case may be, some guy that he was advising him or whatever the case. But after that Super Bowl, like I'm telling you, like that entire year, we play him twice a year. That entire year, I watched this man just completely dominate the whole everybody. Like Cam was that guy. When he really did this, he put that Superman out. I seen him dominate. That Super Bowl, I watched him closely because regardless whether he was in my division or not, regardless if I didn't like him or not, regardless, I was rooting for that black man. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So that game, I watched him very closely, and that boy, the only thing I can think of is that, man, who paid this man? And I know everybody probably don't agree with me, but man, I really watched that boy that season because he ran through everybody. And that game in particular, it seems as if he was a shell of himself. And then that was the decline of Cam Newton in the NFL in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, that game, after that game, there was no more Cam. There was no more Superman. That shit was over with. It was over with. And I don't think he's been the same since. I think once he found himself within, and then the rejection of big, you're national championship, first round draft pick, first pick of the draft, and then MVP, Super Bowl appearance. And then after that, now you are, people are telling you to be the backup. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a tough pill to swallow. I think he finally found himself again, the joy of life again. Once he got into this content space, I saw a different side of Buddy. You know what I'm saying? I think he came back to the fold because the first episode he ever did of Funky Friday was with Cecil, Mr. Cecil. You know what I'm saying? I think he found himself again. And within this content space, I see him found that same joy that he had. You know what I'm saying? He had the same joy back, like he was playing ball again. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yeah, that I remember, Buddy. The other cat I didn't recognize. This dude, I recognized it.
Yeah. I would. He said, "Who was the first person to have a divorce playing the judge marriage forever?" People know you can divorce waters in there. I think that sounds great. I just think, just like when we talk about leadership, right? It's harder. It's easier to come in hard and become soft than to come in soft and become hard. And I think that's what Cam Newton really got a taste of. If Cam would have just had that bravado and that dressing style all the way through college, whoever drafted him knew what they were getting. I think sometimes it's easier to be your true, authentic self from the get-go and let people accept you for who you are than come in, resemble something that they wanted you to resemble, and the reason why they picked you up to just fall back into what you really want it to be. Because regardless how we want to look at it, the NFL is a business, right? It's a business. They made a purchase on something that they like how it looked. They like how it played. They like how it's just the way that business works. You know what I mean? It's just the way that business works. And I like what Classic said at the very top. He was talking about don't compliment me for 5 minutes and then tell me you think I could focus on more of the game. I think that's what happens in big business too, though. I think that's what like you know what I mean? It's like running a store, right? You know, it's like running a store. You know what I mean? You got numbers, you got CEMs, you got all these stats, and people are going to tell you about the positive things you're doing. But then right after that, they got to go behind you and tell you, hey, Mr. Souls, if you want this store to keep building and growing, you got to do X, Y, and Z better and better. You see what I mean? So I think that's the way of life. You know, like in the military, we live by that. They call it an ish sandwich. You build it up, and then at the end of the day, we still got to focus on the problems at hand. I can still compliment you at the same time, tell you what I think you can improve on. You don't have to, but I'm telling you what I think you can improve on.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby.
I want to ask y'all this. Do y'all think that Cam suppressed who he really was all throughout his college career? And what he is now is who he really wanted to be the whole time?
No, I think
as
Cam
far as
did.
the way he presents himself as far as culture goes.
Nah, Cam did exactly what he wanted to do.
Or was
When
it an
When
evolution?
he started dressing, he was snazzy. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't so far out there. It was just different. You know what I'm saying? He was coming in looking like a gent. You know what I mean? He was looking like a 70s, like he's some out of Idlewild. You know what I'm saying? When you would see him, like I remember the movie Idlewild.
Yeah.
He come in like that. You know what I mean? But I think it was his way of saying, I'm not going to let this bring me down. But he had an injury. I remember he couldn't throw that ball deep at all. You know what I'm saying? Then he was having conflicts, you know, with different wide receivers or whatever. But I remember watching one of the last seasons he played us. He couldn't throw that ball deep. He couldn't get that far. He couldn't get that ball like 25, 30, like accurately get it downfield. I knew that injury had him. Like, no, that injury got the best of him. He took a lot of punishment. That MVP year, he put the team on his back. He did. He put the team on his back. He took a lot of punishment, man. It was a lot of plays that I was like, you know, I say I didn't like him because, you know, he was a division rival, but man, there was a lot of plays. He was getting smacked and they wouldn't give him no flags, man. They were trying him, man. They were trying him because he a big man. I seen him in person. That's a big mother. You understand me? That boy 6'5", 252. That's a big boy. He was a big boy playing football, and they wouldn't give him the calls that a smaller, you know, kind of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like white quarterback would get. He was getting smacked, and then they wouldn't even give him a flag. Like for real, he took a lot of punishment. That year, his MVP year, he was fucking fantastic out there, but he took a lot of punishment.
Cool. Lil Penny said Cam didn't know who he was. He was told to be what he was. Now he wilding like a teen trying to grab a hold of any identity.
Yeah, that was my question. Like, did he not?
Yeah, we went into the sports atmosphere of it all.
Yeah.
But I really feel to the core he's battling with that. I don't think, you know, Plug lived in it. Plug dad was a pastor. Like you come to a crossroads.
Like a sense of rebellion.
Like if you watch Funky Friday, he references dad and religion at least one time every interview.
Oh yeah.
It don't matter what the subject is, he's going to bring that up. It's something that he has to work through. I don't like to use the word that he suppressed it, or I think Cam also had a goal, right? He knew that I need to get paid. He was playing the game to get paid. You know what I mean? He was a great talent. I think he's seen, a lot of kids. I think he started to see that, hey, y'all got to think about it. He had the first ever highest paid underarm deal in the history of Under Armour. Like so like he talks about that on here. Like So he was battling with a lot, you know what I mean? Becoming like a multimillionaire, pretty much being the face of Carolina Panthers, the city. He had the city on his back, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was a lot that he had to battle with. And I think him expressing his style that he knew he had within him was the one outlet he felt he could control.
Okay.
It's being a big personality and being a big ass person at the same time.
I see your comment, class.
And when the way he moves like, you know what I'm saying? Class say in the verse, you know what I'm saying? When you got that glow and people know that you know, they hate it. You know what I'm saying? So when you should be reveled in, you should be revered in the city that you're playing for. And it's hard to when you're so, you know, like everybody loves the meek, humble, you know, humble guy. And he's this my city. And you know, it should be your city, but you know, like, let us give you the city. Like, nobody in the streets give themselves a nickname.
But at the same time, Plug, there's only certain groups that like meek and humble people, and that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about with the culture, right? Like, not everybody likes meek and humble people. Like, when it comes to us, we don't. We like the Floyd Mayweathers. We want you to be loud,
flamboyant.
Classic had a great question, and I think a lot of people don't know me. They look at you from the content space. They don't get to know you. I shut down a lot because I don't want to act a fool, or I don't want to press so hard to get my point of view across. Like, so I want people to be able to speak, and I feel like sometimes when you have a strong passion for how you feel, you can shut others' conversations out. So I try not to do that. That's the only. I don't care if it's hard for people to watch. Don't watch. Like, my biggest thing is I be quiet so I can let other people speak, because I don't want to have a huge shouting and argument debate the whole show, because I know that I'm not going to change how maybe me and Classic can disagree, or so I'm not going to change the way he thinks about it. I'm not going to change the way Plug thinks about certain things. Like, it took me and Plug an hour that night about Tyreek Hill to get to a agree to disagree spot. You know what I mean? Like, so I try to learn from past. I try to learn from past conversations or last mistakes. Like, I don't feel like I feel like I am humble enough I can be quiet to let others speak.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But he said, who are some examples of people who can handle the public scrutiny well in content space, and some examples of people who handle it horribly?
Yeah, I mean, the way he dresses is weird to an extent, but he's consistent. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one piece of his attire that he'll like one or two pieces that he'll have on. I'll be like, yeah, that shit kind of smooth though. You know what I'm saying? Like, them hats be hidden. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Them hats be smacking. I'm a hat man myself. Them hats be hidden, bro. I'm just saying. But then with the bow tie, sometimes be like, that shit a little off. But then I see it's the core. It's coordinate. You know, it's like the mushroom milk and the suspenders.
Yeah. So who do y'all know anybody that y'all feel can handle public scrutiny well in the content space, and some examples of people who handle it horribly? I would say Stephen A. Smith handles it very well. He will be the perfect example. But you know what? The perception, some people could say he handled it horribly. I think people who handle it well, Classic, also handle it horribly, depending on who's receiving the information.
Hey, I say on ESPN, probably horribly. On his own platform, hey, he talked this shit on Straight Shooter and Jason Whitlock. He talked this shit. I was like, hey, that's how you bite big dog.
Yeah. So I would say that, Class. I think that's it's almost subjective, right? Like, I think it's one of those things that it depends who's intaking that information and who looks at it a certain way, right? Because like we had a perfect example tonight. You felt Ryan Clark was handling it very well. we feel he handled it horribly. I think it's all about how you take in the content and how you. I think a lot of times we look at how we would do things and we project that onto others. I think we all project. I think that's just part of life.
I know.
And some people stereotype too. So like it's all about how we look at things. He said Cam Newton dressed like a female who does his hair green because of depression. That boy a fool.
That shit was so funny.
He said that's why he bringing up his own past relationships with his father. Yeah, I definitely Penny. I think we on the same boat when we're talking about it. Like I think we on the same boat, big dog. Like I think it has a lot to do with the upbringing. I think it has a lot to do with the lack of self-awareness. And I think also we have to understand Cam Newton went through a tribulation time period that he had to make a decision. When all that stuff happened with Cam and he had to go to JUCO for a year, I think he had to make a decision and he went towards the route. Once you mess up, you have to clean up your look to get to where you're trying to get. And I think he did that, but he probably did it too long. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Like,
does that make sense?
Cut it until I get to where I need to be and then do me. Yeah. I feel what you're saying. I know what I see what you're saying.
Kind of like that's what the NFL wanted Shador to do this past year. They wanted him to cut the braids. They wanted him to be quiet. Just go play ball. Get your jewelry off. Don't show your money. We know you're rich. Just come play football. But Shador, you have to respect him, right? He's staying Shador.
I'm gonna say this: when at the field, to go around the side that I go to watch the players come out, I used to do that at least. I'm gonna do it at least 3 times out the season. I'm gonna go and do that. When I go and see, I look at the vehicles that are parked in that parking lot. That's where they walk out. They walk out the back and they all of them park. That's their parking lot back there. And when I see a Charger, Challenger, 4-door Porsche, F-150, F-250, Maybach, AMG, baby Maybach. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the time where we had Matt Grimes, who just came from Miami, and JPP we had just got JPP. He just came from New York. But everybody else that was like that's been there on the team pretty much was driving normal vehicles. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of you looking at the personality behind the vehicle. So most people are gonna see like what you wear and how you speak and what you drive to kind of get a gauge on you, because they really don't know you as a person. They just know you as a player and how you present yourself in the media, but they don't really know you as a person. But you could pretty much, like, if I seen Shador come out and he jumped into like a big Jeep, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, okay, I see that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But you see a kid who's a rookie coming out of college and he's in a Maybach truck. It's like, you kind of do want him to say, like, lay low, bro. You put too much of a, you know what I'm saying? And then he get the speeding ticket. You kind of put a little target on yourself to where everybody like the vehicle don't match what you've done in this league. You ain't did shit in this league yet. You know what I mean? So if you wasn't getting paid as the quarterback that you were at Colorado, and then you came in and you had a normal vehicle that anybody who just got drafted could afford in the 5th round. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wasn't a Sanders, and like they can get mad at it, but that just happens to be his situation and what he's driving. But at the same time, outside looking in, most of these guys that are looking at him didn't go through NIL. You dig what I'm saying? So it just gives a perception of you that's kind of, they prejudging you, they being prejudiced, but at the same time, it's like, it's reality, bro.
That's a great one. I would say that, even though I didn't always like her takes, Penny, Jamel's, handled it very well. Great example. Great example. I might not agree with everything she said, but she definitely handled criticism very well in the public. Even when she went hard, she was the first one to really go hard on Trump and held her stood. She lost her job and everything with ESPN, but she held down. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Nice one, Penny. I like that. So we're going to finish up this last part going about media credibility. We're going to listen to Cam rebuttal to what Jason Whitlock had to say, and then we'll finish off the conversation with that.
So let me ask you this, Jason, and I just want to better understand, and in no way, shape, form is my intent to attack. I think we can learn from each other given this said conversation. Can you give me the timeline from what you can remember when that shift, when you said Cam goes from focusing on football, whether it was at Auburn, whether it was sometime in the NFL, to the latter part, to now to shifting his focus to a cultural icon? Could you really give me a said time, if you were to know, just to back that merit? And it's going to get me to a point here.
To the best of my ability, the first clue, which I ignored, was I think Peter King at the Combine, Peter King, the NFL writer, got in some controversy for making a big deal about you saying you wanted to be a cultural icon or something along those lines. I ignored that. And I think the first 3, 4, 5 years you're in the NFL, my memory, and I'm going off memory, very clean cut Cam Newton. I think some people say, and I think I researched this at one point, 2, 3, 4 years ago, but when Jerry Richardson either passed away or got removed, that he was kind of your mentor with the Carolina Panthers. Once that went away, I think that's when the hairstyle and the hats and the dressing up went to the next level. And I remember being on the show Speak for Yourself with Marcellus and who was it? I can't remember. Oh, no, it was Colin Kaepernick that Michael Vick made a comment about, man, he just need to cut his damn hair. But anyway, on Speak for Yourself, I just remember starting to like, man, Cam, cut it out, man. All this dress up and stuff after the game, it's not going to work in an NFL locker room. And so whatever year, I think it's maybe after you won the MVP, that's when the change happened, because if I'm speculating from my distance, it's like, well, Cam's won the MVP. He's led a team to a Super Bowl. Cam thinks he's arrived. And so now Cam's going to unpack all of his plans and vision and got a bit more comfortable and said, now let me implement the rest of my plan.
So let me educate the audience on the time and tenure that you're referring to. Let's talk about Peter King. When I first came into the NFL, at that time, it was the biggest rookie deal of apparel at that time. I had signed to Under Armour. And the conversation came by way of making that announcement that I signed with Under Armour. It was at that time upwards of $1 million. And I was surprised, given that I was wondering why we didn't get opportunities like, said LeBron James, said Kevin Durant, said basketball players. But I learned that football players are considered masked athletes. Not a lot of people know exactly who they are if they take off their helmet. Now, you may say Tom Brady, that's a outlier. You say Odell Beckham, that's an outlier. You say Aaron Rodgers, that's Josh Allen, those are outliers. But for the majority of football players, you are not recognized outside of your number and how you look. So when he asked me the question, what are you to think about this particular deal? And I responded, I don't just see myself as a football player. I see this deal being created because I possess a power of being not just a football player, but an entertainer and an icon. That subject matter was the subject of, and it caught fire, like Cam Newton sees himself as an entertainer and an icon, hence to the word, or to why we call Iconic Saga. And for us, it was to be able to, in that time, be able to control our narrative as athletes. And that was something that was taken out of context. Did I say it? Absolutely. But the question wasn't also inserted with the response. That's why the icon word kind of came. Now, second, when you start talking about the culture shift of Cam growing his hair, when Cam's, worrying about fashion, it was around 2015, around 2016, to your point. And here's the reason why. There were still times in my career that I was still labeled, you're still a black man in America. Hence, I'll give you a real example. We go to Nashville, Tennessee. A fan for the Tennessee Titans had took out a column to complain that Cam Newton is thrusting in front of fans with all I was just doing was celebrating. There was also a time, why is Cam celebrating enough or celebrating too much? Hence to why I did my celebration in front of the world for the Thanksgiving game that we played that same year in Jerry's World when we played the Cowboys. There are still examples of no matter what you are still labeled to some individuals this particular character. I understood that. And when I would have a conversation with said individuals, like I'm having a conversation with you, I'm not shameful to say I am proud to come from Atlanta, Georgia. When I go back to the communities where I'm from, I see way more people with dreadlocks than I see with fades, clean shavings, or whatever. So for me, nobody cares that I've given millions of dollars to the next generation of athletes. They don't care about that. They care about what Cam says when he's on First Take, when he's on 106 and Sports, when he's on 4th and 1, when he's on Funky Friday. But the visual is still important to when you start to see who's the voice behind what's being said, and is it relatable to the next generation? So it wasn't to be rebellious. It was always to stand for something, to say, bro, you don't got to go to the NFL to be able to talk sports. Hey, you don't got to go to the NBA to be a journalist. Hey, you don't even have to be good at baseball to cover the sport. You just have to have the willingness to study and know what you're talking about. And I've always stood on that principle, but there's times where athletes may have a response to something and they don't even realize the weight of their voice, the weight of their actions, and who they are really representing. And it is to say, there's been times where I've let people down. But I will not take that same route to say, tone it down. That's where I have to agree to disagree, to say, I can't do that. Because when I go to the corner stores, when I go to the barbershops, when I go to the grocery stores, when I go to so many different areas in Atlanta, Georgia, said places say, hey, bro, keep doing what you're doing. You're inspiring the next. Because when I grew up, I never had the opportunity to see a Mercedes-Benz with a person that was in that said Mercedes-Benz that did it the legal way. I give so much credit to Pac-Man Jones, because Pac-Man Jones was the first visual that I actually seen, could touch, could talk to as a person that said, oh, that's a millionaire. My parents weren't millionaires. But when we have these illustrious platforms, it gets to a point where people oftentimes forget I'm still a product of my environment, and I'm trying to do right with it, because in a term of Game of Thrones that a lot of people can kind of understand this analogy, a Baratheon and a Targaryen and a Lannister and a Stark, there are different people from different areas. And I'm from where I'm from, and I never wanted to change up or to suppress, to tell my son, to tell a younger man or a woman to say, well, you got to change to be accepted. I can't agree with that. And that's where sometimes I feel people are saying, Cam, doing too much. It's like, no. You just don't understand me. And it's okay for you not to understand me. That's why I take opportunities like this to explain my true intent. I've always fell short of what the expectation is and was for Cam. I never wanted to be labeled as perfect. I've had children out of wedlock. I've shown people that it is human of me to be a sore loser. But you tell me a sore loser, I can show you a potential good winner, because winners don't know how to lose. And it means something to me. It has always meant something to me. When I was in these situations, I didn't have nobody to take me up under the wing and say, hey, dog, like, we're going to do this. No, you don't do it that way. This is how you do it. I had to learn for myself. So when I say certain things, or when I do certain things, I'm not saying that it's right, Jason. I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying is we'll be in a better situation in this whole universe if we're able to communicate with one another in the manner that we're doing it right now. Now, when I ask these type of questions, when you responded to the dynamic of saying being labeled an Uncle Tom or you're cooning, but can you see how people will feel? Because if we're keeping it above, Mr. Whitlock, the way that you critique the culture or Black entertainers or Black athletes or Black, subjects is completely different than how you critique the Caucasian subject. When I hear you talk about Deion Sanders, when I hear you talk about Cam Newton, when I hear you talk about Joy Taylor, when I hear you talk about Stephen A. Smith, those subjects to me is like, all right, well, when you talk about John Elway, when you talk about Brett Favre, when you have conversations with Tucker Carlson, with Fox News and talking politics and things, it just doesn't give the same type of energy as the counter. Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying, but it's just not factually true. And it would be like, I've had access to watch the overwhelming majority of your NFL games and games at Auburn. You haven't had access to watch how I operate as a journalist. You see glimpses and pieces, but you could go throughout my entire history as a journalist. Do you know who Marty Schottenheimer is or was? Carl Peterson was the general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs. I was based in Kansas City. That's where I made my name. Marty Schottenheimer and Carl Peterson and Scott Pioli and Todd Haley, who was the head coach at the Chiefs for a time, any of these guys. These are all white guys. They would all say, like, Cam, you're crazy, man. This dude killed me and killed us. And talked about it. And again, there's receipts for all of this, but you didn't follow the Chiefs. You're not from Kansas City. The internet wasn't as pervasive. Even today, to what I do today, you're not interested. When I criticize a Bruce Pearl that I started my entire show with yesterday, goes completely over your head. But trust me, Bruce Pearl is completely aware that I trashed him all yesterday. Bill Belichick's got this little 25-year-old sugar baby. The only time your ears perk up, and this isn't an attack, is like, oh, Deion, because I like Deion and I see him, blah, blah, blah. All you care about is that I attack black people. But the facts are the facts. It's everywhere. Take my attacks on Stephen A. Smith, which have been brutal. Call Mike Lupica and see if he didn't get a taste of exactly what I do to Stephen A. Smith. It's comical. The accusation that somehow I don't criticize white people is comical, and it's not based in fact. It would be the same. If I sat here and said Cam Newton ran a 5.2 40, you would laugh it off. You're like, what game was he watching? And when I hear people talking about Whitlock doesn't attack white people, it's like someone saying you ran a 5.2 40.
Yeah. So as we get into this discussion point, and I'm glad that you said what you said, because you are right.
So do we choose to see and hear what we see and hear based on if it's just us, if it's just our culture? I'm not gonna say the culture. Do we only have our eyes open to that culture?
Yeah.
So they didn't see Whitlock when you got what I'm saying, Plug? They didn't see Whitlock whenever he was scrutinizing the white folks. But they magnified it whenever he was scrutinizing the black folks. So
accountability, be like guilty, because I don't really follow you, but when I do see you, it's the only time I see you is when you talk about black folks. I don't see when you talk about the white. So that's the only time I see you. But he got me. He got me. He got me.
That statement right there, I guarantee you, was the moment Ryan Clark said, I gotta say something. That was the moment.
Why you think?
Because it's hard for people to be okay when somebody finally accepts accountability, or hey, you know what? You're right on this point.
Mm-hmm.
I might then agree with the other 90% you said,
but right
that,
now,
right there, that 10%, you got me. And that's why I think that 10% is the overarching conversation that moves the needle forward in society.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith were mad that Whitlock was up there, but if you notice, Cam wanted to have a real conversation. Yeah. Cam was seeking truth and understanding. Mm-hmm. And I feel that a lot of people get very uncomfortable because that statement when he just agreed with Whitlock made Cam also remember that he did just tell me I could have been better than Elway. He did tell me I was one of the biggest things on Sports Network right now. I just probably got to tone it down a little bit. He might not agree with the toning it down part, but that comment, once you could take a look and say, you might be right here.
Because somebody gave him a critique about his cussing, and he changed that too. Yeah.
Once somebody can get you to agree, it doesn't matter how big the agreement is, you can now have a conversation. After this part of the conversation, they started having mutual conversation, and it got so good. That's why Cam Newton brought Stephen A. Smith up. The conversation, go watch it for yourself. Starting from the moment Cam Newton said, I agree. They were two black men who initially came into the room disagreeing and agreed until they started back talking about Stephen A. And Cam Newton's rebuttal, when you go watch all the shows, Cam Newton then has to protect himself against Ryan and Stephen A, who are blaming him about bringing Whitlock on his show. So the two men or the one man, Ryan, who said it's about loyalty, why is it? No, Cam wanted answers. Cam, me and Plug say it all the time. Not saying that me and Plug say it all and be it all, but I always said Cam got one of the best sports shows on TV, dog, on the tube, period. Like, when you watch him and Peggy got something that we never seen before, dog. Welcome to 451.
Right,
we always have it. You know what I mean? Like, they got one of the best things. Yeah. And that's the thing that I think turned Stephen A and Ryan Clark against it a little bit, because they started, your enemy is now agreeing with your friend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's hard to accept when your friend now agrees on some things with your enemy. You don't agree on everything, but they agree on a few things. So I would love to hear y'all thoughts, man. I would love to hear y'all thoughts on that. Like, the whole conversation, I thought it was one of the best interviews I seen Jason Whitlock had, because he had to hold himself accountable, because somebody was asking him tough questions. And it was the first time I got to see Cam hold his own, still speak his truth, but also have to understand, hey, we can agree to disagree in some areas and we can agree in other areas. So what is your thoughts on it, Rain?
Oh, I gave mine. But yeah, I mean, it's eventually, I think eventually we have to make sure that we have our facts in a row before we start to criticize or take blame or move the blame on somebody. Because initially, people thought that he was always or had the finger pointed at Black athletes when he had scrutinized white athletes as well.
I just think we see the things that make us uncomfortable first.
Mm.
We hear the things that make us uncomfortable first. That's why I can accept anything people say. That's why, like, a lot of people think I'll be trolling and stuff, but I'm okay with accepting, like, if people feel like I'm sensitive, or if, like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But there are some things in my life that aren't sensitive. My bank account is not shy at all. Those numbers look beautiful every day. Like, it's my credit score is not sensitive. Like, the things that matter in life are very aggressive. like
we just said that Black folks are aggressive.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can work on all the personal stuff, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of things in my life that are very aggressive, and I'm very happy with those things. You know what I mean? And we all got room for improvement. You know what I mean? Like CLOUT said, we all got room for improvement. There's no shame in it, but I think it's okay to also know where you fall short. But
yeah.
Ever since I was a little kid, man, I always say, man, my favorite game in the world was Big Bake Take Little Bake. That was my favorite game in the world. Let's just open up our accounts. Let's talk about who's moving forward in life, and
leave my shit alone. Leave my shit. Let me be.
Man, you gotta get in line.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm trying to sell my house. I walked in Plug house. I want a bigger house. You know what I mean?
No, don't do that. So don't do that shit. Don't do that shit, them way. I sleep in my truck, boy, with an air mattress.
Hey.
I don't give a damn about nothing. I'll be cool, man. All I want to do is chuckle and laugh and have a good time.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Like what Plug said, but that boy house still smell new. He said Whitlock is underhanded. He'll butter you up and then tell you everything bad. Classic said he can't touch it. He can't touch it with a 10-foot pole, dog.
Like the way you did your hair. You got your nails done. Let me tell you something. See, that's the only aggressive in a certified nature.
She said, "Let me be your power of attorney."
Get in line.
I'm straight.
I'm just
I'm
messing. I'm just
straight.
messing.
I'm straight. He said, "Talk your eye." No, I ain't even talking crazy. You know what I mean? Hey, no. Jeremy said, "Might not be a question for y'all, but I got a question. Looks like the Panthers will be." I love when the sports come in regardless. Panthers will be any good this year. I mean, this is not working as I said. It's like, no, man. Bryce Young came on at the end of the season, dog. I can't say that.
Hey, I'm sorry to tell you, brother. Carolina Panthers will be ass. You know what I'm talking about? Straight cheeks. And the Saints too. And the Falcons. Go Bucks.
He said, my favorite thing was to put my money into my 10 Adidas shoebox. Yeah. Hey. He said, that's why you shouldn't shut down. No, man. I don't shut down, man. I give room for people to speak, man. I give room for people to speak. I don't want to. Maybe I'll create a debate show where it's worth it. But this is our infographic at the top. Y'all see here, man. Trying to do something new for y'all. This is the breakdown of what was actually said.
Last tape. Let's call it last tape.
On the last take. Yeah. This was the last thing broken down for the last take of this. This is everything, the blueprint of greatness, man. This was Newton versus Whitlock. It was a comparison of opposing philosophies on athlete branding, media credibility, and cultural influence. I think if you guys get a chance, you guys will really enjoy watching the whole interview. I think it's one of those things that really brought a lot of good conversation. This boy a fool. Brought a lot of good conversation because Whitlock starts to even talk about Michael Jordan. And he gave him a comparison of someone who didn't have to lean into culture, but the culture still pays him to this day. Like Michael Jordan hasn't done another commercial, and as long as his shoe drop, millions of people are buying it. Like Michael Jordan imprinted Michael Jordan game. And he had some swag too, in the old time type swag. People like the suits he used to have on. He started the one earring thing when it came to Michael Jordan. His game spoke for itself. Yeah, his game spoke for itself. But he talks about that Cam can still be Cam and be good to go. You know what I mean? So, what you think? What's your last take on this, Plug? What's your last take on this?
I'm glad them guys got an opportunity to see eye to eye, and he can hear exactly what he meant by what he was saying about him. He got some clarity on the situation. That's cool. I'm glad that he even fired back and said what he said about his naysayers, those two gentlemen that he will be working with come football season this year. I get he's slowly peeling off those layers, whether people understand it or not. Him actually mentioning those things during Funky Friday and 4th and 1, the things that he does battle with when it comes to identity crisis and this and that and the third. Speaking those things out, getting them out is the best form of therapy, and dealing with those things. And actually, when you do go over the film and watch everything that was said during the show, you actually get to revisit those things again and then take it in as you had when you initially let it out, and then taking it in and then dealing with those issues. And hopefully it makes him a better individual. Probably won't make him a better dresser in the eyes of the beholder, but he'll be fine with it. You know, hopefully he's fine with the inner man and not just the outer appearance.
Okay. Appreciate you, Plug. What's your last take there? Rain being quiet, but when she said something tonight, she was 10 toes down. What's your last take, ma'am?
The men get just as messy as the women do sometimes. That's it. That's all I got to say about it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay.
That's it.
I mean,
Go ahead.
No, I don't think it was messy. I guess it was best to actually have a conversation than bickering from my platform to yours. And since you didn't invite me to yours, I'm gonna invite you to mine. You know, since you invite me in your house, I'm gonna come over your house. You know, because the conversation, like I said it before, like if you know what I'm saying, it should never be something physical. The only time it should become physical when we can't have a conversation.
Yeah, at least everybody could have a conversation. So yeah.
He said that's not man behavior. Camp.
You can't toss everybody to 16s classic.
No, but Cam and Whitlock and Peggy did what men do. The stuff that went on the back end, they had no control over that. You know what I mean? I always tell people, go watch Marcellus Wiley if you want a very unbiased opinion, which he has a good relationship with Cam and Whitlock. He gives you a very good full viewpoint, and he talks to you about the details about Stephen A and them with ESPN because he was once there. That's why he started his own show himself. But my final take is this. Sometimes you don't have to rewrite history when history is already in front of you. I think we have a lot of perfect examples of Black men, Black celebrities who stayed true, didn't have to be the most flashiest in the room, and they have done very well by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen a lot of Black men in this current day fall to feeling that they have to now resemble what they want to support. Perfect example, Floyd Mayweather. It finally came out. The man is bankrupt. He's poor. He's broke. He's crazy. But it's because he did everything that was impressing others. The cars, the viewing of the houses and the mansions in Las Vegas. All that stuff made him stand out. It looked beautiful, having the brand new Rolex and having all these pieces, and it looked great for TV. You had women, you were able to walk around with multiple women that were beautiful on your arm and stuff. It all looked good for the optics, but it did not pan out. There's so many great examples. Look at Bud Crawford, y'all. Bud Crawford wear Everlast, the same boxing company who sponsored him. You can buy Everlast out of Walmart. He wears that. He has no issue. He's a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. Probably got some great investments. You can still be the great person and still support your culture by being who you are. Michael Jordan continues to go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question.
It can't be my last take, y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Who's more respected, Floyd or Bud?
Bud. Because Bud talk with these. Bud ain't just a defensive boxer. Bud put it down. Errol Spence, Bud just didn't win. He won. Like,
yeah, he won.
You know what I mean? And then also my last take would be the people around you will also be a great example of who you truly are. Because we can't forget the same guy that Ryan Clark was pointing to about y'all know who I am, allowed Shannon to sit there in front of Bud Crawford and say that he'll take money over something. He was all about money. He had no morals. He had no moral compass. So I'm going to tell y'all this. The room is always smaller than what it seems. So those people you sitting to your right, to your left, they're also a form of your character. So just remember that when you, Peggy and Cam, they solid, dog. They got something big. He walked in the room and told him, he said, your team and what y'all are building here at 4th and 1 is huge. For a man, if Whitlock has any hate, that takes a lot to say to a man if you hate him. It takes a lot to big up a person who's ahead of you. I don't know where you can find hate when a nigga is bigging you up and you ahead of them. So I don't know what optics everybody's looking in. I don't know how you reading through between the lines and all this stuff. But I think regardless what you might feel about Whitlock, he showed a lot of accountability and integrity there. He gave his truth. He accepted Cam Newton's truth, but he also told that man how big he can be and what he sees in him. So regardless what you want to say, that sounds a lot better than some people who say they loyal but will tell you that you got no loyalty and you ain't got no G. That's my last take.
You bitch you. hey, shit. Shit. And we have
he said, wait, how do we know Floyd business? Hey, it ain't even business no more, class. It's public.
And we have nothing left to say.
This boy stupid. He said Whitlock is doo-doo chips. I ain't never heard nothing like that. Shout out to Classic. Shout out to Class. I will tell y'all though, if y'all ever get an opportunity, I would highly encourage you to go look up the Fearless movement, man. Again, say what you like, the Fearless movement.
What's that?
Every year, Jason Whitlock and them have over 2,000 to 3,000 black men. It is white men there, but black men make up about 40 to 50% of the audience. It's a location in Nashville, Tennessee, where he's located. I went to the first ever Fearless conference, and it was the best networking I ever did, especially while I was in the military. These black dudes set me up for retirement, getting out. They took care of paperwork for me. This is called the Fearless Conference. So I know a lot of times we like to judge people off of this little screen that we're looking at and the camera that they're using to make content, but some of us have a lot of substance behind the lens. So I would tell people to really tune in to people, get to know people, and don't let the content get you clouded. There's a lot of people still doing a lot of good things for the culture.
Hey, will we be trading Lil Penny J for ours? Because Lil Penny J is a white man.
Where is
We've been waiting on this, man. Hey, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Come on in.
Yeah, Tom said, I believe, yeah, Tom, I went to the first ever one. Like when he first started it from the ground, I got to meet a bunch of athletes, a lot of great writers from DC came in, a lot of people that he has on his show. I got to meet a lot of people, man. It's a lot of powerful black men because it's a men's only conference. And like, it's a lot of powerful black men in that room that could really get you to where you need to get. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people don't see. But as I say, man, keep judging what you see on camera, man.
What's the next one? You know, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Then he always plugs it on his what you call it. He got burnt last year, no pun intended. He got burnt. I don't know if y'all remember the black politician. He was his guest speaker, the black dude that got called out for having the affair on his wife. It was a black politician that everybody was really high on. I got to get his name again, but
it wasn't Cory Booker, was it?
No, he had him speak. He was actually the guest speaker, and literally the weekend after the conference, he was exposed for what he did.
Damn.
Yeah. I forgot what state he was out of, but he was gonna be running for president. So
you can't get hit tricking, cuz you gotta be careful.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody, man. I think it was a great show for what it's worth, man. We were speaking about the culture tonight. Shout out to Cam Newton, shout out to Jason Whitlock, shout out to even Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. went ham. It's funny. You got to go watch it. He went ham on Straight Shooter. It's funny though. Like it's funny. So, but make sure y'all tap into Marcellus Wiley too at Hydration Situation. He has a great objective view of it all. He knows them all personally. So like he keeps it real. He always is honest. So like when you watch his views, you'll be able to see every side of each story as well. But y'all got anything for him outside of our show, June the 6th?
June the 6th, Columbus, Georgia at the Holloway Lounge. Y'all come see us live. We'll be live. Classic is going to do a performance. We'll have live conversations about relationships, dating, friendships, all that, and any and everything in between. Good 90s vibe, 90s music. Make sure y'all subscribe to all of our channels. We are part of the Raw Society Coalition. You've seen the classic codes in the chat. Uncle Plug TV right down here below me, and Souls of Thought, and the Tez down. Tez came in here for a few minutes. Make sure y'all go over to our page and subscribe to all of our channels. And Thursday night, I may do another call-in show. I'm not for certain. I'm trying to drop all my content and whatnot. I was working hard on it last night. Plug, you got anything for him? Plug did a good show today. Classy did a good show today. Everybody.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Hey, what anybody got anything planned for Thursday?
Thursday is when I do my call-in show.
The call-in show. Okay.
What you got going on? We can discuss offline.
No, don't mind me, shawty. Don't mind me. I'm just, just trying to. What about when? A wind down. Don't never mind. Don't worry about it. I'll be okay. I'll talk to y'all backstage.
We'll talk backstage about it. Yeah. Soul's got some. You got some stuff coming up, Soul?
Nah. Too Tight said, shout out to all the show. Was off the hook tonight again. Appreciate you, Too Tight, man. The support is always appreciated. It really is. We appreciate
everybody in the chat. Yeah. Everybody being in the chat.
Yeah. He said Thursday is when I take the boys that I meant to out for pizza, where they don't put the pizza in a pan and you watch these brothers spin the pizza, put the stuff straight on the oven. Okay, big dog. Okay, fancy. Classic said the war room. Chanel said hearts. Salute from Classic. He said hit that like button. Again, man, appreciate everybody who was here tonight, man. Y'all stay tuned for more, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow. We out.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it in the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time? Yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages on moon getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. Been watching my story all winning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing?